Good morning from the National Weather Service office in Gaylord, Michigan. Welcome to the latest hazardous weather briefing for eastern upper and northern lower Michigan. Today is Thursday, July 18th, 2013. As we take a look at the hazardous weather highlights, we still have that hot, humid air mass in place. It's giving us our heat indices well into the 90s. That's pretty much for all areas here through today. However, as you see that there's a little bit of a second line there now. It says southeast counties for Friday, and we're talking about Ogama, Iosco, Gladwin, and Aranac counties, and that'll be on Friday. So just remember the potential impacts, which is potential heat stroke and heat exhaustion with these extremely warm temperatures. One of the reasons is because we do have a front that will be moving through, and that's going to start increasing our chances for thunderstorms across the entire viewing area here through Friday evening. And potentially the big thing will be damaging winds, as we've been going through our little checklists on what goes on with the atmosphere with these types of systems. That's primarily going to be the case. So just to start taking a look at everything, we do have some thunderstorms out there. Most of them are in the upper peninsula. It's been relatively quiet over northern lower Michigan here overnight since the evening thunderstorms have kind of gone away. But as you see there is a front that is stretched out across Lake Superior, and another one that continues on with another low pressure system out into the northern Rockies. That just kind of sit there, and thunderstorms are going to break out along or just off to the north of it and kind of travel down it and continue on. Now, when we get to Friday, or at least starting Thursday tonight, we're going to start seeing that area kind of stay. That darker green is where we're expecting the most rain, the best probability for it, with the lower chances down there. But that's going to continue to sink south as we get into Friday morning, and then during the day on Friday, as the front kind of pushes through finally, that cold shot of air finally getting into us, and then we'll start to see that lessen quite a bit here during the early evening hours. So what does that mean for us? Well, the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk out for us, and that's pretty much that yellow area you see there with the damaging winds and hail. That's going to be the main concern. As you also see, though, they give a 30% chance, so it's a little bit better. It's still in the slight risk, but for the upper peninsula in damaging winds and large hail. The type of thunderstorms that we're going to have through here, it is possible, although it's so warm out, our freezing levels are pretty high, that large hail may be a little bit more difficult for us to achieve here. But the wind damaging winds, and possibly even a tornado or something could come through, but that's a very low risk thing on the tornadoes. It's the damaging winds that we really need to watch out for with these storms as we get into the tonight period. Of course, this is going to get into tonight, and then by early tomorrow morning, we're going to continue on. This system's going to continue over us until it finally forces its way all the way through here by Friday evening. So we still have that slight risk of severe storms for most of northern Michigan. We're just looking mainly at northern lower Michigan in this case for that time period. So to sum everything up, severe weather threat tonight through Friday. It will become cooler and more refreshing. It will happen here. We still have another day and a half yet before we get through all this really hot, muggy weather like today's weather, where we're in the mid to upper 80s and even mid 90s in some areas. So just bear with this heat one more day, but remember to take it easy because the heat indices are going to be up closer to the lower hundreds again. So we could have some heat-related issues. Otherwise, then we have the thunderstorms starting basically during the day, but mainly tonight, and then going into Friday. Severe storms are possible. The primary threats are going to be damaging winds and very heavy rain. So just watch out for this time. This concludes the hazardous weather briefing for this morning. Thanks for listening in. If you have more questions, or if you have any reports or anything else you'd like, you can either take a look at our webpage at weather.gov/Gaylord. We do have forms to send in weather reports on there as well. You can also relay any reports through Facebook or Twitter. And you can also find us on YouTube with this briefing, the past briefings, and also a virtual tour of the office. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.